So I'm gonna go with the Spurs, and this is a really nice camera they got on here. Look at this.
So how was it going?
My goodness.
It was good. It was
You
good.
can see Brian Wright in all his glory. All right, let's watch this. No closed caption though. Sorry guys.
Still getting used to this 2-night format, but
little loud.
excited with the outcome, and I think we
2-night format. Is it excessive? I don't know if it's excessive or not.
got two great young players to add to the group going forward, and a little surprised, but
SmackDown versus Raw 07 is actually the best. Real talk. Audio gonna be scuffed either way. This one sounds okay.
it ended up being a great night for us.
There's a lot of speculation about people trying to pry that number 2 pick from you. Was there any tempting offers that you had to think about?
I think at this time of year you have to go through a process, right? Like you have to answer the phone. But I think early on we knew kind of what we wanted to do and the potential of the player there. So we listened to things as it came in, but I think we were pretty locked in.
By the way, I do want to bring this up because, as you guys know, I love Reno. But I've been seeing that sentiment a lot, Phyllis. It's like to think we could have got Reno at 38. I think it's one of those things where what the Spurs actually want to do, I don't think they wanted to get 3 rookies. I think what they wanted to do is, which is kind of funny, it's kind of weird because over the past few drafts, I've kept saying this, that I don't want to draft a center because I'm like, we just have better options there, right? Like, okay, I wanted Sohan because he's a little bit more versatile as far as what we can get. Wemby, he's a center, but he can do so many different things. Obviously, you pick Wemby, he's going to be one of the greatest of all time. And then you go into the next draft, it's like, I don't want a center. You get Steph Castle, he's the best one available. And it's kind of been like that, right? Dylan Harper. And this draft was the first time where I was content with getting a center at 14, especially if it was Malawach, right? Because I just assumed Carter Bryant would be gone. But I think what the Spurs want to do, they wanted to get 2 rookies, and I think for a big man, they're just going to get somebody in free agency. That's what I'm assuming. I'll be very upset if we don't do it, but I'm pretty sure they want somebody that's a little bit more experienced, so they're not dealing with 3 rookies and dealing with a rookie center or whatever. Maybe you can get a backup center later, but I don't know. Historically, Spurs' best centers have been veterans at a good price point. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Centers, especially young centers, good defensive young centers, not in the draft, but in general, going to be pretty expensive, right? I really want Walker Kessler. I just wonder what he would cost. I wonder what he would cost. But yeah, if you can just get kind of an older center and just roll with it, you're probably fine. I've seen people bring up Vucevic. If that's something you want to try to do, I don't know. Kessler seems pricey. He's probably going to be pretty pricey. Hey man, don't write off Al Horford. You can just get you a backup center. Just one that's decent defensively, right? But yeah, you don't have to go all out, I don't think. But or even Brook Lopez. Yeah, you don't have to go too out there.
There's been a lot of talk about position overlap with Dylan and Steph.
It's so stupid. Please.
How do you see that shaking
I hate
out?
it.
What are your thoughts on it?
You're not worried about it.
I think I've said this over the years that positions in this day and age don't matter as much. We just saw playoffs where the team that won had a 6'5" wing that guarded the center, right? And you start to put offensive skill sets together and having multiple ball handlers, multiple people that can create, multiple people that can put pressure on the rim and make life easier for other players on the floor. I think that's an advantage, and I think we can do that for all 48 minutes. And so I'm not as concerned about positional overlap and trying to find skills and people that can put us in advantage situations and be able to play off that, and he can definitely do that.
You said
Exactly. It's so silly to sit here and worry about it. Worry about it so much. So dumb. Horford is 39, Lopez is 37. Feel like they'll go younger, like Kessler or Nas. I don't think that they are going to want to spend the amount of money that would take to get a young guy, or the amount of resources it'll take to trade for a younger, defensive center, right? And so, at the point that someone brought up, we did switch out centers throughout our entire duration throughout the dynasty. We didn't just have one backup center for Duncan the entire time. And yeah, isn't Nas? Yeah, isn't Nas going back anyways? So
You were surprised? Is that what you said?
Yeah, a little surprised. We had not at number 2.
Right.
But we had Carter pretty high on our board, and actually tried made some moves to potentially go and get him. And so to get him at 14 was a pleasant surprise for us tonight.
What did you like about Carter?
do you think there is a chance for us to get Giannis? No. I mean, we could, but I don't know. Reports say Spurs are eyeing Giannis. We'll see. I don't think so, though. I could be wrong. I don't think so, though.
Maybe get the possibility.
I don't think they give up so much.
I think he's super versatile. He's a big wing that we think can guard 4 positions. He spaces the floor well. He's a really good athlete. I think he's a smart young kid, and I think he's got the right character and makeup that we look for. So I think we're excited that he was there. And again, a little surprised, but we think he adds a new dimension to this team going forward.
How long ago
Johnny's
did y'all
right.
lock in on
Johnny and Chat, or not Johnny, I'm sorry, your name is John, man. Sorry, dude. And Chad is completely right. He said Carter Bryant plays the game in the future tense, always a split second ahead. I would start him immediately. Well, I don't agree with that part, but just to show everybody on the team what being active with purpose looks like. I don't agree with the last part, but you are right. Like, yeah, he's split second ahead, very smart. Yeah, that's one thing people don't bring up a lot. He is a smart player.
Well, we scouted all year, so I think it's.
Oh, he'll be starting at the end of the year, in your opinion? Yeah, maybe.
Been, a bit of a 2-player race up at the top, and even dating back to high school, there's some conversation in that. But, we didn't necessarily lock in until we knew he had the pick, and then obviously you do the homework. But we knew what type of player he was, and so once we were there, we were pretty confident.
When it came to trading up for Carter, at what point did you realize that you didn't need to do that?
At 13. You never know. And so you're on the phone and you're trying. And
I heard from the grapevine, that the Spurs thought that they could get him when it got around 10. That's what I heard from the grapevine. Don't tell anybody I told y'all that. Does it matter? No, doesn't really matter. But now you know some information that you didn't know before. I think it was 10. That's what I heard.
Things just kind of break sometimes. So.
backup big is still a need. Do you think that can be addressed in free agency? And just what are your thoughts in general about that that period?
Yeah, we'll see. It's a fun time in the NBA because all these things happen back to back. So I think we start with the second round tomorrow and kind of see where things go, and then we'll flow into free agency.
We can expect Carter and Harper at summer league changes and reps.
Yeah, I think we'll get them here and kind of see how everybody's doing and feeling. But that's the hope, yeah.
You mentioned the second round, obviously.
Yo, I don't know what's going on with it. By the way, guys, the Atlanta Hawks, I was laughing at them at first with the whole Porzingis thing because I was like, that won't make a difference. We'll still get a good pick. Now I'm like, oh, actually, they made some pretty good moves. And the Pelicans, I have no idea. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want. It was the Pelicans. No, it wasn't the Pelicans. Was it the Nets? Maybe it wasn't the Pelicans. Who's the team that took Dimon? It was the Nets, right? It was the Nets. Okay, I was like, what are they doing? It was the Nets I was thinking about, not the Pelicans. The Nets was like, well, the Pelicans' decision making was kind of confusing too. But the Nets in particular, I was like, bro, what is going on? What? I think even when we were live, I was like, who just took Dimon that early? Why would you do that? Like, that was a player that definitely could have fell pretty late. That was stupid. That was a big reach.
Out of that reportedly today. What did you see, or why did you end up making that move?
I think we
drafted 4 point guards. Good God. Yeah, they're just trying to have tryouts. They wasted their picks for some tryouts. It's stupid.
Each thing out and try to project forward and how we have our board set up. And so sometimes it makes sense to make some decisions early, and you can always adjust and react accordingly if needed.
Is there a bid you have in mind in free agency? I mean, is that
They're not gonna say that.
Can't tell you that time.
Just a few days off.
What if he just told us like everything? That'll be funny.
Was perhaps targeting a big in the draft? Was that on the to-do list?
Also, I don't think I think we've talked about.
I think. Can I answer this? I'll answer this for you, Brian. Right? They were probably just choosing the best available, and that's kind of how we went about it when we were looking at the big board. Right? Like on the big board, I was like, okay, dude, like this is the best player available, Bryant or Carter Bryant. If he's gone, then it's Malawatch, right? And you're just gonna keep flipping between them because it was like some small forwards that were really great, but the most important thing is you're not gonna grab another point guard, right? Like that was the main thing, but you're gonna grab what we need, but the best players available in those positions. Luckily for us, the best players available also were the positions we needed. So, yeah.
We don't ever approach the draft and just trying to fill a need, right? I think there's a lot of ways to build your team out, and the draft is the chance that you get to add someone who you think can fit long term. And so you want to take the long term talent, and you can figure the roster out in terms of immediate fit, in different ways.
As you went through this process and learned more about Dylan, was there anything that you learned that surprised you about him and the young man that he is?
That's a good question.
He's got a rare confidence with humility. He's a very down-to-earth, simple kid, loves basketball, and after spending time with him throughout the process, you can tell that he knows he's a good basketball player, but he wants to be part of a group. He wants to be part of a team. He's willing to sacrifice. He's willing to work for it. And the more we spent time with him, the more we felt confident in that. And again,
That's crazy. He sounds like Wembanyama. That's crazy. He sounds like Jeremy Sohan. That's crazy. He sounds like Carter Bryant. That's crazy. He sounds like Steph Castle. That's crazy.
You talk to a lot of people around the kids, these young men, to try to get an understanding of who they are and what they're about. And he really confirmed that for us when we spent time with them.
Have any conversations with his dad?
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
Ron Harper.
We did. It was great because you get some great historical stories, NBA stories. So I don't know how much we told him. We kind of just listened to his stories because they were great, and we had a nice little time together.
Ron Harper must talk a lot. That sounds like Ron Harper talks a lot. Hold on, real quick. Ron Harper, he's funny, bro. You go to his Twitter. Let me see. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting this. What the heck? This white woman perfectly explains what black fatigue is. Black fatigue is when I can hear you 10 aisles away in Walmart. Is when you have no idea how to act in public. Oh my God. And he says, shut up. He says, shut up. The Spurs allowed Dylan Harper to wear number 2. The disrespect. Kawhi's number deserves to be retired. Disgusting. He's still playing, I think. Let's see. Dylan Harper low-key lame for taking it in the first place. The number? Shut up. Okay, they need to just take his Twitter away, bro. Okay? You need to take his Twitter away. I react the same way, though. Oh, my God, he's reacting to all of it. The only thing disrespectful about this is these accounts ruining a special moment for this 19-year-old kid with their fake outrage. It is fake outrage. This whole thing is fake outrage. They would know how it feels anyway. Let them troll. Oh, okay. He knows how the internet works. Wait, what is this? That's a troll? Have you guys ever used the troll emoji? As a parent, your ceiling is your child's floor. This is Pete Greatness. He said, thanks. Wow. Oh, he says shut up. Who you say shut up to? What do you say here? Nico said, fortune favors the bold. And on behalf of Mavs fans everywhere, I wanted to break a TV. Says Nico Harrison has no right to take a victory lap on the Mavericks landing Cooper flag. Shut up. All right. I guess is a cop helping somebody with their car or whatever. I swear, God, I did not know it was this many replies. It was something else I saw that I thought was funny, and now I'm just like, wait, this is a lot. All right, here's the ones I saw. So Ron Harper said he does everything better than his dad, and then Robert said, "I hope so. I hope you do, son. Proud dad." And then he responded to Manu Ginobili saying that he was happy to have Dylan Harper, and he said, "Thanks. I hope you spend some time with them too." I guess he's not aware that Manu literally like is around the team all the time. But yeah, he's funny, bro. He's funny. He just tell people to shut up all the time. He's like, shut up. Good to see you again, Clan. Thanks for the super chat.
How much do you see, like, you have guys like, obviously, Dylan, I got it. And then Steph comes from a basketball family
I
as
agree,
well.
Max.
How much do you see from guys like that who have that pedigree? How much does it reflect in their own character and habits and stuff like that?
You know what's great is the first time that they're hearing a tough message or the truth about basketball isn't coming from us or coming from a coach. They get that at home. How hard you have to work, what it takes to be great, what it means to sacrifice and be part of something great. Like they get that. And so we're reinforcing something that they've already been taught versus we're trying to teach something for the first time, and we think both have that in space.
Big picture, Brian, is that
is something that people don't bring up. Like when you come from NBA lineage, that's like super important, right? That you have that type of mentality. I think Bronny has that mentality, honestly.
I feel like everything's coming together like you envisioned it, and where are you now as far as the playoff picture?
I think what we've tried to do is just put one foot in front of the other, stay head down, and hopefully we look up someday and we're right where we want to be. But not.
By the way, somebody said as long as Ron doesn't turn into like an Uncle Dennis, he'll be fine. He's Uncle Dennis never been in the NBA. Okay, Ron Harper won championships. He knows what it takes. He knows how much of a class act the San Antonio Spurs are. But also keep in mind, like I think at least from what we've seen, Dylan Harper's biggest influence has been his mother, actually. As far as being a player and all that good stuff, that's been his biggest influence, I think. I mean, obviously it's obviously his dad. It's super important. I just know, like basketball wise, he said that. I don't know if he said it or I forget. No, I think he actually did say it, that his mom has been the biggest part of his basketball journey as far as being a better player and everything, because she coached him and everything. So I don't know.
Putting the cart before the horse.
I don't know if it means anything. I'm just saying.
A lot of work to do over the coming months and coming years. But our hope and goal is to
exactly
be there, as soon as we can.
I'm sorry, Brian. Like he's here. Exactly, July. Just like Halliburton has his dad at games, Ja has his dad. Now Spurs, Dylan has his dad. Yeah, exactly. It's around the league, man.
There have been some additions to the coaching staff. What can you
his mom is pretty.
Say about Sean and Corliss and what they bring?
Yeah, I think we're really excited about them. That process was a pretty thorough one in terms of analyzing where we could utilize some help and how they both helped us and just their background, their experiences. Both of them have a defensive bend. Both of them are very sharp and serious and hardworking and willing to be part of a team. And so just like we do the background work on players, we do the same on staff and coaches. And so I know we're excited about what they bring to the team, and they're already getting to work and putting long hours in and trying to figure out how we take the next step.
Exactly. We went over that too. Don't forget what Bruce Bowen said. He's close to Dylan's dad, and apparently Ron Harper thinks a lot of the Spurs organization. Yep.
And is it
that was a bombshell.
Not going to be involved in Eurobasket?
I don't want to speak too much to that, but I will say, his rehab process is going well, and we're hopeful for the future.
Thanks, Brett.
All right, thank you.
Good stuff, man. We are going in a great direction. I'm so excited. I am so excited, y'all. You have no idea.